Rachel's crying, Lord, her children are no more. Our voice is heard in Ramah, crying on a distant shore. She's crying for her children, Father, for they are no more. They've been taken captive by an enemy, taking them to distant shores. Father, can you turn their hearts around? Rachel's crying out. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's good to see you. We're trying to do a movie critique today, my girlfriend Regina Hockaday and I. And I've sent her an invitation. I don't understand why she can't accept the invite and I can join her in. I don't understand what she's not doing. Continue. Let me see if I can find her here. It's not there. Wait, let's see what comes up. Oh, there she is. Is that her? No, that's someone else. That's Wayne Brown. I don't understand what she's not doing. What is she not doing that she cannot be joined in? Can you help me with this, Wayne? I'm trying to get her to click on. Nothing. I don't know what's going on here. Well, we're going to have to cancel this for another day because I can't get you to come on. I don't know what's going on. I've invited you. Hey, Linda, how you doing? Let me wave at you. Let me invite you, and maybe I can get you on and add you. There, you replied to Larry Shannon. Where are you at, Regina? I sent you an invite. I don't know what she's doing. Camera. Hey, Linda, how you doing? Can you see me? Hello? There you go. Hey, girl. What's up?
What's up, girl?
Look, I'm over here tripping. I got my friend. I'm trying to join her in, and neither of us know what the world we're doing. We're trying to.
And you messed around and got me of all people.
I don't know why she can't click on. She's trying to click on, and I saw your picture. How were you able to send me a wave? Because I was able to click on you then.
I just hit it came up a little join thing on the bottom. And I hit join. Yeah. And you were waving at me. And then the screen went black and it said join. And I punched join and then I came up on the bottom of you.
Well,
and then I scrolled over. I scrolled over and I waved at you. Girl, I ain't seen you in, oh my God, let's not even say.
Yeah, you haven't seen me in what, 30, 40 years.
Central Gardens.
Central Gardens, that's right.
I was younger than 12.
Yes, I was in my teens. I was like 15.
Yeah, because I was the baby. I was the youngest.
I know. I remember. Yeah. I love Central Gardens. Central Gardens was the best place.
I tell you, it was like it was the prime of growing up, man.
It was. They don't make neighborhoods like that anymore, do they?
No. Well, everybody was in charge of you. Everybody's mom was in charge of you.
Yes.
You had to sneak to do everything. Everything you had to sneak to do everything because somebody was always looking.
Always looking. Those mothers don't mind jacking you up.
It was a building around there that you could go to that somebody wasn't looking out one of those windows. In the front and the back. And Baber Village across the street was just the worst place, wasn't it?
I know. But I loved it because we had all those teenagers. We had Baber Village, Central Gardens, and Town and Country. Full of teenagers living that close together. We just had so much fun there. Oh my God.
Yeah. But
It
before
was
we moved to
unbelievable.
Central Gardens, we used to live on Daimler Drive.
Oh yeah, okay,
In
okay, yeah,
Central
I know where
Gardens,
that's at.
yeah. Yeah, we used to
Uh-huh.
live there first before we moved over to Central Gardens.
Oh wow. Well, Gina,
Yeah.
I saw your heart, but you have to click join. Maybe if you're not doing it from your phone or something, I don't understand what's going on. I can't seem to join you. I was able to join Linda. She was able to wave back. See, and Patricia, the same thing. Patricia did the same thing. She waved. So maybe if you wave, Regina, I can join. There you are. Let me see if I
Yeah.
can get her now. Hold on. Let me see if I can get her. Let me see if I can. I might have to let you go to see if I can
All
get
right.
her.
See you
Okay, let
later.
me try that.
All right. Bye bye.
Love you, Linda. Okay,
Love you too.
bye
Bye bye.
bye.
Now I can't hang up for some reason.
Okay, okay.
Now let
You're
me
good.
figure this one out here.
There you go. I got you. So let me try you now, Regina. It should be adding you. There you are.
Am I here? Can you see me?
Yeah, you need to bring your camera. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Just a
Hold on.
little
Let me
bit
find my
more.
face.
Okay.
Let me see. Look, we trying to
There you
child,
are.
please. This is
Yes.
this a whole mess.
I'm so glad Linda was
Okay, let me
here
see
to
if I move
talk to me
back.
because I was like
There we
going to give
go.
it up. For some reason, it's easier to do it on this side. Whatever you did just now, when you
You're
go
like,
back to
okay,
my
I'm
Arlene's
here.
Renaissance, at my Arlene's Renaissance page, and it'll bring you on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I don't know what
so
it was.
okay, well, good. Well, I'm going to get started and just get us going, get us situated. We're here to do a movie critique today. My friend Regina and I, we critique movies all the time because we just love it.
Yes.
We love acting and all of it, the scripts and the writing and the sets and the lighting. We just love it, the music, all of it. And she's an actress. She's a very accomplished actress. She does a lot of stage plays and things of that nature, and even dinner theaters and things like that. And she's the one who brought me into acting. We met in church as friends at church one day. And so she said to me one day, Arlene, I think you can do this. Come on and go. And I was like, I don't know about that, but I'll give it a shot. And I loved it. And I love the people that we've met, along the way. And she and I used to work in ministry together. She's also licensed. And we used to go down to Lorton all the time, back and forth down there for the longest time until they closed it as ministry than anything. And she's going to join me today. She's very accomplished. So I'm going to get started, and I'm just going to name the characters of the movie and give you some background information on the movie and tell you the plot of the movie. And then we're going to come back and get into all of that. So the movie's called Fences. The players in the movie are Denzel Washington, who plays the lead role of Troy. He's a husband. Viola Davis, who is a tour de force, plays Rose, his wife. Stephen McKinley plays Jim Bono, his best friend. Giovanna Depo plays the son, Corey, his young son. Micklety Williamson is the outside baby that he has in an affair. Russell Hornsby is Lion's older son from a previous relationship. The musical scores were by Marcello Narvo. The director, of course, is Denzel Washington. And the movie garnered 4 Academy Award nominations, for which Viola Davis won Best Supporting Actress. She also won one of the 2 Golden Globe nominations for the movie for Best Supporting Actress. And both times she beat out Denzel. I don't think he took it personally. But the plot, and it's kind of long, so bear with me a moment. It's in the 1950s Pittsburgh. Troy Maxson lives with his wife Rose and their son Corey and works as a garbage collector alongside his best friend, Jim Bono. Troy's younger brother, Gabriel, sustained a head injury in World War II that left him mentally impaired, for which he received a $3,000 government payout that Troy subsequently uses as a down payment on a home for his family. Gabriel has since moved out to live across the street at Miss Pearl's house. So Troy no longer gets rent money from Gabe, which places the family under financial strain. Now, Gabe sometimes gets in trouble with the law for his erratic behavior, and Rose suggests to Troy that Gabe might be better off residing in a hospital. Troy left home at 14 after beating up his abusive father and became a robber to sustain himself. While serving prison time for killing a man during a robbery, he met Bono and revealed himself to be a talented baseball player.
He then played in the professional Negro leagues, but he never made it to Major League Baseball, which held a color barrier until 1947. Troy claims to have survived a near-fatal bout of pneumonia in his youth by defeating Death in a wrestling match, upon which Death vowed to return for a rematch. Lyons, Troy's son from a previous relationship, visits him on Troy's payday to borrow money. This upsets Troy, who believes a man has a responsibility to work hard to find his own way and provide for his family. Rose later tells Troy that Corey is being scouted by a college football team, but Troy is dismissive of Corey's chances of playing professional football and refuses to sign the permission slip, saying he does not want Corey to fail in athletics as he did, or more so, bear the disappointments that he did. So Rose asks Troy to build a fence around their house, and Troy asks that Corey help him on Saturdays. On learning that Corey is not working at his after-school job at the A&E grocery store because it interferes with football practice, Troy demands that he return to the job despite Corey's attempts to convince him that he will work weekends instead of during the week. Now, after complaining about his company's racist employment practices, Troy is promoted to driving the garbage truck, becoming the first African American. Let me wave at some of these people. I'm glad you all are joining us. We're doing a book review about the movie Fences. So if you haven't seen it, you might not want to listen to this because it's going to reveal the plot. So he's the first African American to become a garbage truck driver in Pittsburgh, which is, a whole subject in and of itself. But anyway, Bono finds out that Troy is cheating on Rose with Alberta, a woman he sees at Taylor's, a bar, and encourages him to break it off. Troy later finds out that Corey did not return to his job and so tells the coach that Corey is no longer allowed to play. Troy also refuses to sign papers that would allow Corey to be recruited for college football. Corey lashes out not to disrespect him again. Troy, who is also illiterate, signs papers rerouting half of Gabriel's pension to a psychiatric hospital, forcing Gabriel to be institutionalized. The other half of Gabe's pension is to be sent monthly to Troy. After Troy impregnates Alberta, he is forced to reveal his affair to Rose, which leads to an argument in which Troy aggressively grabs Rose's arm. Corey intervenes and knocks Troy into the fence. Months later, Alberta dies in childbirth. Troy angrily challenges Mr. Death to another fight. Troy brings his baby daughter, Raynell, home, and Rose agrees to raise her as her own. Wow, Rose, really? But refuses to accept Troy into her life. I guess the child didn't have anything to do with it. Corey is considering enlisting in the United States Marines, having missed his opportunity to attend college football scholarship. One day when Corey returns home, an intoxicated and bitter Troy blocks his path and instigates a fight in which Corey swings at Troy with a baseball bat. Troy grabs the bat from Corey and drives him out of the yard. Disoriented, Troy once again challenges Death to come for him. 6 years later, Troy has died of a heart attack, and Corey, now a USMC corporal, returns home, but informs Rose he will not attend Troy's funeral. Rose admits to loving Troy, despite his many, many flaws, and pleads that Troy is still a part of Corey. Corey reconsiders after sharing memories of Troy with Raynell. Lyons is serving 3 years in prison for forgery and gets a furlough to attend the funeral. Similarly, Gabriel is released from the hospital to attend and reunites with his family as they all bid farewell to Troy. Gabriel plays his trumpet and succeeds on the third try for St. Peter to open the gates of heaven and for Troy, and the sun glistens over them. So there you have it, Regina. Now I'm turning it over to you. Where do you want to start? Who do you want to start with? And what do you want to start with?
Well, let's just start at the beginning, because the end, if for a person that's never seen it, they might say, oh my goodness, that is so depressing. But because of the acting and the storyline, it's amazing.
Yes.
It's like, because it starts off on a whole different vein. You see the joy, you see the happiness, you see a happy couple. Everything that happens at the end is a complete surprise, or toward the middle because you see a
Yes.
man who loves his wife,
Yes.
can't keep his hands off of her. He always patting her on the booty and
Mhm.
all this other stuff. You like, she's giggling.
Yes.
And I mean, these people been married, what, 18, 20 years? And they still frisky.
Yes.
You see this couple, you like, okay, goals, relationship goals. And then
Relationship
you
goals.
see the son. Yeah, then you see the son, and you know that there's something going on between the son and the father. But let me just say that there was a period of time when men were a little different. We didn't
Yes.
have all of
Yes.
the Dr.
Exactly.
Phil touchy feely, hug your son, kiss your son. In a lot of households, I'm sure, can't say that for everybody, but in a lot of households, the men were strong. They were the backbone. They were like, boy, what you doing? Go get, they were the disciplinarian. They made sure that their sons
Yes, they
had
were. They
an
were.
education or had a job or something, because they wanted them to make it. And they felt like, to show them the hugging and kissing and all that stuff, they didn't receive that. So they thought that
And
wasn't
they knew how
necessary to
tough it
show
was.
their sons.
And they knew how tough it was as a Black man. They knew what that boy would have to face, so they had to toughen him up. He can't go out here and think that the world is going to care. The world is going to try and take you down.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that was, you looked at the young man, and it's like, oh man, he just looks so pitiful all the time. But then
Yes.
the young man, even though you could see the love that in the household that the boy had for his mama. What was interesting to me is you also could see the love that was shown to his other son, because he had an older son.
Yeah.
That from a previous relationship. Lyons.
Yes.
Incredible actor. I love Russell Hornsby. That is like my guy. It's like, he can do no wrong in my eyes. Okay.
Ooh, he is awesome.
I have yet to see him. Anybody that wants that cares. He's now he's on a TV show. That was based on, what was that?
Oh God, I almost said it.
So yeah, he's the new Bone Collector, and
yes,
he's killing that role too. So. But in this role, I love the dynamic between him and his father, between him and Rose.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Beverly, go ahead.
Because Rose was his stepmother, but you could tell he had a lot of respect and love for him. And Rose, a lot of times, she would stand up for him, like, boy, get a boy the money,
Yes. Rose was the go-between to try to smooth him out, to try to soften him off. And that was interesting too, the dynamic, how she was able to always sort of soften the father, because Troy could be really rough and really hard, but she softened his edges, and it took its toll on her, because she had that moment in the kitchen where she was just like, Lord, this man. But that was what attracted her as well, because he said he just filled the room. He just so commanding about him. And that's always true in relationships. Sometimes that thing that's the most attractive to you can be very rough on the relationship at the same time.
Yeah.
But they did show they did show that love.
That love and that care, and that she, and I like what you said, she did have a way of she knew how to finesse him, if I can use that word, to get him to do what was probably the right thing to do. Because once you go along through the story and you see certain things and certain parts of his character, that she was really going through a lot. Because at first it just looked like, when I first saw it, I thought, oh, he want to do that anyway. He's just putting up this big bad front, but he got to be Mr. Tough Guy. And so when he really wanted to say yes anyway, but he couldn't look soft. So, when she said, okay, it looked like, okay, well, because Rose said it, I'm gonna do it. But then as you go along, you realize, nah, that was him. That was his character.
That was his character. He was self-centered. Yeah, and self-centered, but he loved his son. You could see the love.
He loved his son. He did. He loved his children. He loved his wife. This was that. I remember Lackawanna Blues, there was a line that said, sometimes a man and a woman have a relationship that nobody understands, not even them. And that kind of reminded me of this story, because there was so many dynamics. It's like you would say, well, how could this man love his wife and then cheat on her? And it was like,
Yes.
you know, the two didn't make sense. It was like he wanted, like he said, I come home every night, I bring all my pay home, give it to you. You know,
Yep.
I'm doing what a man's supposed to do. And he was looking at that like that was his extracurricular.
Yes, that was.
It was like, but sir, you sleep with another woman. I mean, could you not pick up, I don't know, golf?
That
could you not go,
gonna
you know,
probably
baseball?
gonna follow you home.
Yeah. Like, can we find another hobby, another something? And
Yeah.
it was, what was sad was that he had a really good friend. And I say this all the time. I mean, when you have a good friend that can keep you out of mess,
Yeah.
let's say, listen, he was trying to tell him in a way. He was like, I ain't trying to get in your business. I'm just saying, Rose a good woman. Don't mess this up. Like that.
Don't
But
mess this
basically,
up,
he was
son.
saying, listen, Alberta is not worth what you got. You got a home, you got a woman that loves you, you got a family that respects you and that loves you. And he was trying to let him know this is not going to end well. You leave that woman alone. And unfortunately for him,
listened. He should have listened to
for
his
him,
buddy.
it did not end well.
No,
He
it
should have
didn't end well
listened.
at all.
I mean, the sad part was she, you know, she fell in love with that little girl because this is an innocent baby. Baby had nothing to do with the mess that was going on with her parents. But
She absolutely
that
did.
baby ended up really becoming just a piece of her heart. But
Yes.
the trade-off was she lost everything that she, you know, she loved her husband, but all of that, you know, what she had before, it completely changed her. And she became, basically, they were like roommates. And she took care of him. She still fed him, washed his clothes, took care of the house and everything. But you could just see the difference from the beginning.
Yes.
The beginning when she was blushing and go on, get out of here, and smiling and laughing, and to the end it was like, yeah, all of that changed. And it's like when she told him that line where she said, "This baby has a mama, but you don't have a woman." I was like,
you don't have a wife. See, I don't think he really knew what a wife was until he no longer had a wife.
Yeah, because he was enjoying the, you know, he, and then that's something else I found really interesting. When she told him that had died, it was like you could see a piece of him look like it died, because he really was, he had a soul tie at this point with this other woman, that she was his vacation spot. He would go over there and pretend like he didn't have bills and kids and responsibilities, and he could just play, and with no, you know, with abandon. He just enjoyed his excitement. And then he would go home. And he had the nerve to tell her.
I know.
Like,
wow. And no, that's not the part that got me. No, the part that got me was not telling her, but then refusing to stop the affair.
Yes. It was like, sir, really? It's like, you were cold busted at least. But I guess he was thinking that like, hey, it's out there now. Might as well just keep on going. It's like, wow.
I'm like, dude, that is so cold. That is just cold.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was like a sucker punch, a gut punch to her, because she didn't even have a clue.
Not a clue. Because how could she? The man, he do what a lot of men did. Get off from work on Friday, go hang out down at the bar, get him a couple little drinks, and come on home. It's not like he was spending the night out. So she had no reason to believe that he was doing anything other. He probably came home with liquor on his breath. She was like, oh yeah, he was down at the bar. And you know, well, he just took the edge off the week. He deserved to have a little me time. But she didn't know he had that much me time. It was too much me time. He came home. I mean, it was just, it was so.
So what did you think about Denzel's directing?
I thought it was phenomenal.
I thought it was superb.
I'll tell you why. Because actually somewhere floating around on in cyberspace. There's a video because Denzel has played this role for years,
Yes.
And also the gentleman that played Bono, he's played Bono
Yes.
in
He is so fabulous.
in the stage production for years.
Yes.
But the James Earl Jones also did this role. And so
Yes.
on Facebook, if you want, somewhere in cyberspace, you can look it up. There's a clip, and it shows the clip of one clip of Denzel and clip of James Earl Jones doing the same scene, where he's like, "How come you don't like me?" Just that scene. And it's interesting seeing the dynamics between the two. Both of them are extremely powerful scenes. But what I always said when I watched Denzel's scene was, I always felt, without seeing the whole show with James Earl Jones, I couldn't make a full determination. But from what I could see, I really felt like Denzel loved his son.
Yes.
He was just trying not to be soft with him.
Soft.
And the direction that had between the two scene, of course they were directed by two different people, so you could see the difference. And James Earl Jones was he was scary. He was like, man, but yeah. I mean, he looked like he was about to, he wasn't playing. Denzel, it's something about the way that he would tell him, is in his typical Denzel fashion, when he had that little smile on his face. He was like you, the way he just looked at him was just, but you could tell he loved him, but he was afraid for his son. You could feel that he was like, nah, because it was a turning that was happening. Something was happening in the nation. Something was happening in the world. There were more opportunities. But in Troy's defense, he didn't see those opportunities when he was his age. It was like the world was changing, but he wasn't changing with it. So he couldn't understand what his son was saying. His son was like, there are opportunities out here. Like, I could actually, make some, there are Black men playing baseball now. I can do this. And like, basically he was trying to respect him enough to say, listen, you didn't get a chance because the world was different, but the world is different now, and I might have a chance. But he was like, no, I don't want you playing football. I don't want you playing baseball. I don't want you playing nothing. Get you a job, and call it a day.
I think he didn't want him to end up with the same. I think he didn't want him to end up with the same bitternesses and delusion that he had. You could see it profoundly affected him, and that it altered the course of his life, and he was aware of that. He was aware that it completely altered the course of his life and kept him, sort of pinned down and pigeonholed into this caste of society that he wanted to break free of. And his illiteracy only made that worse. I think the the self-doubts and the valuing of yourself. And I think he was trying his best to keep his son from ever having to feel that.
And Rose basically said that when she was trying to tell him, explain to him about his father. She was basically like, he's trying to give you the best parts of himself, but at the same time trying to save you from what destroyed him. And that was difficult. And not realizing that.
Right there. Hold on. The best parts of themselves and save you from everything. Because I say that all the time about my parents, our grandparents. They poured everything they had into us, all that they were, their faith, their knowledge, their gifts, their skills, their education, everything that they have. And I've watched them while they try to keep you from the same pitfalls that they've fallen into. And I love the way they conveyed that as a part of our community, that it can be misjudged or misunderstood or misidentified when you see it. He wasn't the best at it, but it did come through that that's what he genuinely meant.
And because he couldn't articulate it, Rose, as usual, trying to articulate it for him. But unfortunately, at that point, it was a little late. She had been trying over the years to let him know, listen, your father loves you. He's just trying to protect you. But of course the boy didn't understand. He's 17 years old. He's like, listen, all you gotta do is sign this paper. Like, what is the problem? I have an opportunity. Like, you're talking about you didn't have an opportunity and you're mad because you didn't have an opportunity. I would think you would be happy. It's
That
like
I
he
have
could
an
not understand, and they
opportunity.
would. That's why they were
Exactly.
like this. And I think, that he did. He respected his father. He loved his father, but he just couldn't understand,
Well,
why are you
what about the
doing
other
this?
son? When he wouldn't go hear him play, he was almost begging
Yes,
him, please come
yes,
and hear me play. And I see
yes.
parents do that. Your son wants to be a rapper. I know you. I hear you. You don't want that career for your child. If they're a
Right.
horn player or they have some gift or they're an artist or whatever it is, encourage it. Even if it ends up being nothing, that's their place where they have found themselves, where
Mm-hmm.
they can shine or they feel a sense of self-awareness there, where they can create. So I would say, foster it just for those purposes alone, even while
Yes.
you teach them that you can still have other skills and other abilities or other means even of making money. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, this skill, this gift and this talent that you have is still important.
It was, and that, I believe, was this. It was the same deal as with the younger son, because the older son was a musician, and he was
Yes,
apparently really good. Because even Bono told him, he was like, "Oh, you playing down there? Oh, you got to be good to play down there." Like, that's like,
exactly.
basically he was trying to tell him, "Man, your son is hitting the big time. You need to check this
Pay
out. He's
attention.
he's
Yes.
doing good for himself." Especially since the
Wow.
son, you can see a lot of the traits from the father in the son, except it seemed like the son was fighting to hold on and not become what his father was
Yes.
becoming. He was a musician, and we all know
Yes.
artists. They have a different
Yes.
mindset than other people. It's like their music, their art, that's everything to them. And you pray that they make
Yes.
something of it, that they can be able to support themselves, because
Yes.
just working a 9 to 5 for most of them is not going to work. And
It
in this
destroys them.
guy's case, that was it. It's like all he wanted to do was to perform and play his music. Obviously, he was good, but I think the father had the same issue with his music that he had
Yes.
with the young sons wanting to play ball. That this ain't gonna you're just gonna disappoint you. You're not gonna be able to take care of yourself, and you're not gonna make it. So basically, that's
Right.
that's and he didn't want to be a party to that. He didn't want to see it. He didn't want to encourage him, because he thinking, if I
Yes.
go and if I encourage him, he's gonna keep on doing it. But if I stay away and I just keep telling him, you need to get a job, you need to do this, you need that, maybe one day he'll listen, and not realizing that he was driving a wedge between him and his son, not realizing that the son, he understood, but at the same time, you could tell that
Yes.
that really hurt him. And he was what, 30?
It-
He had a little
He
age
was
on
still
him, so
30.
he had
He
been
still was
dealing with
trying to
this
get your
for a
approval.
long time. Yeah,
Yeah. So
and
that
you can
was really,
tell that he was in his life until recent years, and
uh-huh.
you could tell that Rose was the one that kept him in their life, that kept a hold of him,
Yes.
because they never said what
Yes.
happened to his mom.
Okay, then
Do
let's
you
talk
remember them
about the
saying anything
fence.
about
Let's
his
talk
mom?
about the fence. How,
Do
no,
you,
they never said
do you,
anything
do you
about
remember them saying
the
anything
first
about his
son's
mama?
mother. No, they just kind of left that. No,
Yeah. So
no. But let's talk about the
but
fence. What
it
was the
seemed like,
significance of the fence?
oh, I thought that was fascinating, because just like Bono said, some people, keep, he said some people build fences to keep people out, other people build fences to keep people in. And
Yes,
basically, he was showing, reverting back to the Alberta situation. Like, your wife is trying to protect her family, by
yes.
she wants, because he was like, I don't know why she want to build a fence. We ain't got nothing. Like, why? What you trying to keep out? And he was like, no, she might be trying to keep you in the fence.
Okay,
Stay in the
because
fence, in the
I
fence,
think
the
that she could
safety
sense.
of,
I think as a
something
housewife, she
about,
had a sense of uneasiness that something wasn't quite right in her home and something was
mm-hmm,
off, even though she didn't know it wasn't a fair. And I think subconsciously that fence was to hold it all together, hold it all in, and keep her family
yes,
together. I think
yes,
symbolically. Hmm.
yeah, because it's almost like, let's say, like a puppy. Is, if you don't have a fence, it's gonna just run out the street and run all around the neighborhood. But if you got a fence, you're gonna
Exactly.
have to work a little harder to get out. And so I think in her mind, subconsciously, that's what she was thinking. And just something about the openness of, because when they showed a lot, they shot a lot of footage, which you seeing people coming and going out that little narrow pathway that where there was no fence. And and I think that's how she was feeling, like it just was, she was trying to contain her family, and this is my domain right here. This is our unit, and trying to keep it intact, not realizing that may have been subconsciously. When he finished the fence, you could see that, okay, now everything is contained, but it's a little late.
It's a little late.
By that point, baby here, he done lost, what she had for him. She didn't have it anymore. She had to give.
Yeah, some reason you keep freezing, Regina. I think you might need to charge your phone or something. Wow. I love the part where she, hi, Danny Cloud, and who else is here? Alvina, Marcia. You keep freezing a little bit. I'm not sure if you need to charge your phone up or if you're having a bad signal, but you're back now. I can hear you. Yeah. Am I freezing or are you freezing? I see you freezing. There you are. You're here. Can you say something? I'm not sure what's going on. But anyway, we're giving a critique of the movie Fences, which was directed by Denzel Washington and had Viola Davis and Stephen McKinley in it. And I'm here with my friend Regina Hockaday. Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, it is doing something weird.
It'll probably look better when on the replay. Right now, it's a lot of freezing.
Yeah, you were freezing a little. You are freezing a little, but you're back in now. So let's wind this up. The musical score, like I said, was done by Marcello Zarvos, and I love that. And I love the final scene where Gabriel blew his trumpet, and that was so symbolic. And the heavens opened up, and it showed that this complex man who struggled with many of his own demons and things inside of himself all of his life, at his core, had a heart of love, and that was tough and made tougher because of the things he had to endure, and that was welcoming him home to a peace, no longer fighting with the devil and your demons and Mr. Death as he saw him. That's what I thought it represented. Are you still there, Regina? Just frozen. Well, she's having a little
froze up a little bit.
There you are. Go ahead. So go ahead. Well, so what was your final take? What was your final take of it?
Absolutely.
So you must have a lag now. You're probably on a lag right now. So anyway, like I said, the movie garnered 4 Academy Award nominations, and Viola Davis won Best Supporting Actress. That's my husband, Ron, over there making noise. You all hear him. He better say, "Hey, Ron." Hello. Regina, say hi. There you go. Now I can hear you. Okay, so Regina, wrap this up for us with a final synopsis.
My whole thing is, I love the movie. It's eclectic. It's almost like watching a video. It's almost like watching a theater production on stage, but it's really powerful. And there's so many nuances, because even I've seen this movie several times, and I saw some stuff when I rewatched it yesterday that I hadn't noticed before, and I was like, wow. So it's one of those things that you're constantly seeing stuff. It's so much, and it's so rich, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the story of love and of forgiveness and of family, and just every family is not perfect, but it's what you have. It's your family. It's what you make it. And and I just there was something in there for all of us to kind of really take away from it, and just be appreciative, especially in these days and times. Really be appreciative of everything that you have, because it could be gone so quickly, and then you don't want to live with regrets. You don't want to live with what I should have done, or maybe if I had, do what you can do, and love God, love people, and
Okay.
and enjoy life. Basically,
All right.
enjoy life. That was the one thing that was missing. If this guy had to realize that you couldn't enjoy life with your situation, in your situation, find a way
Yeah.
to find joy where you are,
Where you
inside of
are.
your home. You don't have to go out to seek solace in the arms of somebody else. You can find joy and peace and love right in your home. Even if you have to
Yes.
go take up a hobby, a safe hobby, do something. It doesn't cost anything. You could have found something to do that was free. You ain't had to do that. But yeah, so right now, just enjoy life, man. Find the joy in every day. If you look for whatever you look for, you gonna find it.
I know that's right.
Whatever you
Well,
look,
listen,
I just felt Denzel right then. Whatever you look
it's
for,
up Denzel. Well, listen, we
you look
obviously
for,
love
you're
the
gonna
movie.
find it.
We
I really
love the movie.
appreciate this, Arlene. That's our
I
very
know.
first
I
time
thank you. We
being on
finally
Radio
got it
Ride.
together. We're gonna nail this down and get this perfected. I'm gonna get with a couple of people. Look, a couple of those teenagers who can show me the right way to do it, and then
Absolutely.
But thanks everybody for
Absolutely.
joining us. Linda for helping me because I didn't know what I was doing at first. And this is the book review section of Arlene's Renaissance. We aired it on my regular page today because for technical reasons we could not get this thing rolling. This is my friend Regina, actress. She's also a playwright. She's also writing books. She also works in various ministries and things of that nature. She's licensed to preach. So we're going to have her on again, and we're going to do a lot more of this. And next time, I promise you, these two old people will have it together. We'll get one of the young people, my grandniece or someone, to come and show us how to do it the right way. Yeah, do it the right. But we're going to keep on doing movie reviews because we love to critique our movies. We feel like they're never critiqued properly and never handled properly by these different academies and things. And so we wanted a different voice out here to say what we feel for them. So until next time, everyone, stay blessed. Bye-bye.